Alright folks, welcome to Chatham Parkway Toyota. Today I want to talk to you about leasing and how leasing has become very customer friendly. Toyota has an Easy Drive program, and what I wanted to do is make sure that we're extremely transparent and to show you exactly how numbers work and how the program works. But again, this is Toyota's new Easy Drive program, and what that program does, it allows you to get a new car and you only pay about half the price. So let me show you how this thing works. First of all, what you do is you pick out a car. And here at Chatham Parkway Toyota, we'll pick out a car and agree to a price as though you're paying cash. And in this example, that cash price is $22,000. Now the way this thing works is Toyota has a computer. And what that computer tells us is what this car's minimum guaranteed future value is 2 years from today. And what Toyota allows us to do is they allow us to deduct that price from your selling price today, and you pay on the difference. And in this example, it's $10,000. You can pay that in cash, trade, or monthly payments. Now, that's not even the best part, because the best part of the plan comes 2 years later, because Toyota will give you 4 options on that minimum guaranteed future value to give you more control over your driving costs than you ever have before. Now, those 4 options are, the first one is you can take the equity and you trade it in. And I'm not bashful at saying that's what we hope you do here at Chatham Parkway Toyota, is 2 years from now you come back and you get a new one, only because it was affordable for you to do so. But you bring the vehicle back into me, say, Rick, I'm thinking about trading my vehicle. What is my vehicle worth? When my buyer goes out and looks at it and you've kept it in good shape, the miles are right, you've kept it clean, and he comes back and says, Rick, great news, pay your customer their vehicle, is worth $13,000. Well, that gives you $1,000 of equity because your guaranteed future value is 12. And you can take that equity and do virtually what you want to with it. You can roll it over into a new, you can roll it over into another used, or some of my customers put it in their pocket. But that's your equity and you split it with nobody. The second option you have is what they call the sell it option. I call it the keep the profit option. So let's just say you want to sell that vehicle outright. Maybe to a family member or a neighbor who's watched you take good care of it. Or for that matter, you just advertise the thing in social media or advertise it in Craigslist. But you come back to me and say, Rick, I'm thinking about selling my vehicle. What's my vehicle worth? My buyer looks at it. He comes back and says your vehicle's worth $13,000. So you literally do what you want to do with it. Let's say you do the right thing and you sell it for $13,000. You pay the guaranteed future value off at $12,000. And that will give you $1,000 of profit. And again, that's your profit. You split it with nobody. Now, sometimes the hard part of selling your vehicle outright is all the tag and title and paperwork that's associated with selling a vehicle in today's market. So you bring them right here to the dealership. We'll do all the paperwork for you free of charge to help you to sell it to them. And it's not as a mystery as to why we do that. We just simply look at it this way. If you just sold your vehicle and you need a ride home, well, certainly we want to be there when all that takes place. So hopefully we'll get an opportunity to earn your business again. Another option you have is what I call the drop it off option, and that's what I like about it. If for some reasons, if market conditions change on that vehicle, and there's a lot of ways that could happen. I'll tell a story about years ago when Audi used to be a highline vehicle. And it was until 60 Minutes came out and did a segment about the Audi's uncontrollable acceleration. And the value of Audis just plummeted overnight. We saw that happen with the Ford Explorer and the Firestone tires. So there could be reasons beyond your control that market conditions change on your trade-in. Another thing that could happen is an accident. Somebody pulls out, hits you, it wasn't your fault, it was their fault. But you really can't go to judge the loss of that accident until it's time for you to trade or to sell it. You bring your vehicle back in, you're thinking about upgrading. My buyer looks at it and says, Rick, Carfax. Cars have some paint and body work, their vehicle's only worth $11,000. So you have $1,000 of loss. So in order to avoid a loss, you could turn that vehicle back into Toyota, which we do, and Toyota will be happy to take the loss. I'm not saying Toyota's happy to take a loss, but when they came up with this plan, they knew 2 things. One is because Toyotas do a good job of holding the resale value. They know they're not going to take a loss that often. And 2, if they can take the loss instead of you and keep you as a happy Toyota customer, then it was a win-win for everybody. The last option is what I call the love it option. I call it the complete the purchase option. Let's just say, it's one of those cars as part of the family. You might want to hand it down to a relative, maybe a son who might be going to college. That's not uncommon with Toyotas. You come back to me and say, Rick, I'm thinking about completing the purchase. My buyer looked at it, he said it was worth 13. You don't pay the 13. You pay the 12, which is the same number that we subtracted from your selling price, and we'll arrange a final set of payments for you to help you to complete the purchase. Please look online at our website, ChathamParkwayToyota.com, for some lease specials, which is the Easy Drive. So check us out online, check the specials. We'll have all those Easy Drive specials available for you on every product we have in stock. Thank you.